join me. Together we can rule the galaxy far from sun.
I am a Jedi, like my father before me.
This is getting out of hand. Now there are two of them.
Hello there, Space Wizards, Plastic Spacemen, and Rebel Princesses. This is Todd Hoffman, and you are listening to Big T and Little T, a Star Wars podcast. Welcome to episode 46. Today we're going to be talking about Season 2, Episode 2 of Star Wars Resistance, a quick salvage run. Unfortunately, my little buddy Trent can't make it today, so you're just getting the Big T today. So, just a couple things going on this week. It's hard to believe, but it's been 13 years since Heath Ledger died. And so I saw that post. I was like, oh my gosh, I can't believe it's been 13 years. And so over Christmas break, Trent and I watched the Tim Burton Batman with Michael Keaton. And so he got a glimpse of that. And so I was like, hey, you want to check out another Batman movie? So we watched Batman Begins and The Dark Knight. And we did a double feature, and yeah, it was fun. It was fun. I mean, for me, I haven't seen those movies in quite some time, so it was fun. And then it was also kind of cool sharing that with Trent. Just having him experience it. Of course, we had to skip a couple parts, but overall, he got the gist of Qui-Gon Jinn training Batman and all that fun stuff. But no, it was kind of cool revisiting and seeing that. And really, for me, Dark Knight is one of my favorite superhero movies of all time. And Heath Ledger, obviously, for me, is just it's cool. And plus, I like especially 1 and 2. It was shot in Chicago, and so it's always cool seeing the big city, as Gotham. And for many years I worked downtown, so it was kind of cool seeing all those different spots that they filmed. And I always, a couple of days, I was like, oh man, this is so Gotham. And Chicago is very much a Gotham city. So we got to do that. Trent lost a tooth this week. It's kind of a big deal. He's just losing a tooth. He going to soon look like a hockey player, but he's doing well. He couldn't be here tonight, but we have to talk about Kong versus Godzilla. Or is it God versus Kong? Either way, I think the official movie title is Godzilla versus Kong. I think we have to check it out right now.
This is our only chance. We have to take it. We need Kong. The world needs him to stop what's coming. And this child, she's the only one he'll communicate with.
I knew that they had a bond. She had nowhere to go, so I made a promise to protect her. And I think that in some way, Kong did the same.
Cool shot right there. The girl and the Kong. Oh, snap.
It's Godzilla.
This shot. Oh.
These are dangerous times. Godzilla's out there and he's hurting people and we don't know why.
There's something provoking him that we're not seeing here.
I'm of the same opinion.
The myths are real.
No. Yeah. That pretty dope. Yeah. So that came out this week on Sunday, and I've always been a fan of Godzilla. Back to the 1961s and all that kind of stuff. So, but it's kind of cool. This new kind of with Skull Island, the Kong, and the two Godzillas. I kind of like that they're opening up, and especially how Godzilla, the second one, ended. It was leaning towards, the King of Monsters was Mr. Godzilla, but I kind of like that we're having these two stand off, and there's just something special about a monkey punching a dinosaur, or a gorilla, But yeah, it's super cool. I'm totally cool with this, and it should be fun to watch that. So, that's coming out soon. Again, HBO Max is doing, and they just released a new trailer again, simply saying when these movies come out, you will get them streaming on the same day as you would have in a theater. I know by us, most movie theaters are still kind of closed. So, and I think really it's kind of the safest bet right now. I got HBO Max for Wonder Woman 84, and yeah, it was okay, but I might keep it around because of some movies like this that are coming out, like Godzilla versus Kong. So, I might keep it around just for this year, just because of the pandemic. But yeah, movie looks pretty cool. Looking forward to it and see what's going on here. So let's go on to our main topic. All right, so we're talking about the Quick Salvage Run, second episode, season 2. This originally aired on October 13th, 2019 on the Disney Channel. And the official description is: the Colossus, low on hyperfuel, arrives at Dakar only to find the aftermath of a deadly battle. But Kaz looks to seize an opportunity. Man, there's a lot to unpack, and it's kind of cool from a cartoon perspective that we're seeing some of really, quite frankly, right after The Last Jedi, or during The Last Jedi, I guess. So, again, the Colossus is running on sublight speed and out of hyperfuel, and they need to get hyperfuel, and they do arrive to Dakar, but they are looking for the resistance base. That is Kaz's that's what he knows, that the resistance base is there, and is bringing the whole crew of the Colossus there. And they arrive a little too late, but backing up, this is kind of a continuation and a point that what is that guy's name? Jace. I don't know. Jace is the punk kid that was kind of duped Kaz. He was a speeder right kid in season 1. And so now Jace and Tam are part of the First Order. He catches her listening to the comlink. And so he's basically going to rat her out and really wants to put Tam making that commitment. And she's still kind of hesitant. And so, they want to use the comlink to kind of hone in on Kaz's location. And then I think immediately goes to Aunt Z's bar. Kaz and Niku are kind of hanging out, and they find out that the pirates and pretty much everybody, they're running low on supplies. So they need to get a supply run. So they want to basically, I guess, what it really is they're trying to figure out what they can do. So who is the pirate lady? Gosh, I am so bad. Zeno, I think, is her name. She's kind of putting two together, like, hey, like, what are we gonna do to figure out how are we gonna get Yeah. Oh no, that's what it is. Jeez, I'm so confused. Okay, here we go. Sorry, brain fart. So, Kaz gets calls to the bridge. They have a transmission, and it is Kaz's dad. And he's like, "Hey, what's going on?" He's alive. They were off-world, which is fantastic for Kaz. So the Hazian cataclysm they didn't have, and all that fun stuff. And so Kaz is like, "We gotta go to the car," and Kaz's dad basically asks, "Hey, join us at the car," and he's like, "You can't, because you just can't. The first order is after us, and the transmission ends." So we still know that Kaz's mom and dad are still alive, so great. But also Kaz's dad is upset that he's kind of knee deep in this resistance business. So they arrive into the Elenium system. And again, that is where that's a Force Awakens kind of thing where, that's the BB-8 thumbs up, where that is the location. The Elenium system is where Dakar is at. And so they enter the planetary ring, and they realize that they are too late. You kind of see the aftermath of the battle. And so we have a bunch of TIE fighters and X-Wings that are in this wreckage. And we have God rest his soul, the Dreadnought kind of half out there. And then they also notice that there is a big hole where the resistance base should have been. So they have an idea, or Kaz really has an idea. It's like, hey, maybe we can get some stuff off of the Dreadnought, and we have a pirate crew that is eating us of all our food and everything, and maybe they can help us salvage. So they recruit the pirate gang, and they need essentially the coaxium hyperdrive fuel that we know from Solo to put into the classes so they can get some hyperspace, and they need the coaxium. So they go on a little mission. So this is kind of cool. Again, you get to see a derelict ship, and the pirates are rambunctious, and Niku is kind of clueless on the whole thing, and just wants to go along for the ride. They get to basically, I would say, like what do you call it? Like almost like I guess it would be a hyperdrive room. I don't know, reactor room, and conveniently placed is the coaxium container. Of course, at this time, based on the comlink that Tam has, the First Order shows up. And yeah, so it's Agent Tyranny and Commander Pry with Tam on the deck, and they start basically blasting the Colossus. And now we have the racers, dispatched. So Hype Phazon is leading the charge, and he has the Blue Aces, the Ace Fighters. The Blue Aces, Tauras, but the Ace Fighters. There you go. Hype Phazon leads the attack, and it's kind of cool. I love, those ships are pretty cool. All the Ace Fighters are very cool. They're all kind of salvaged and put together, which is fun. And so you get a mixed match of all kinds of different vehicles. And they're fighting the elite First Order TIE Fighters. And of course, what happens with coaxium, as we know from Solo, you cannot rattle it or do anything because it's very sensitive, and that's why it's in these cases. So, Niku and Kaz are trying to work that out, and they're having trouble because they can't open the canister. They finally get it open, and now they need to pull out the canister, and they almost drop it, but Kaz catches it, and it almost falls into oblivion, but they are getting attacked, and so the pirates are salvaging their ship as well as trying to get the the Quaxium out, and precariously, very carefully trying to get it out. And it's just a cool little setup. They get out. Again, the pirates are being attacked, and they almost lose control, and they have to basically jump into the Colossus. All the Ace Fighters have to return, and Kaz, Niku, Sinara, CB enter the hyperdrive chamber, and Niku has to place the Quaxium in the hyperspace container. Of course, there's a lot of things going on. The class is getting attacked. The shields are almost down. The tension is real, and we have to put that little tiny coaxium cylinder into the hyperdrive. And it's about the First Order is going to do the kill shot. They go in hyperspace. So, and then you have this kind of classic. It almost reminds me of like when the Millennium Falcon and Empire goes to hyperspace, and Vader kind of looks again. And so we kind of have the same thing with Tyranny here. She is disappointed. Tam is, I guess, almost relieved in a sense. It's really hard to figure out what's Tam's objective. She's definitely hurt because of what Kaz did and all the lies. But she also has some resignations as far as just like blowing up the Colossus. And so, yeah, it's just an interesting thing. And I want to see how this kind of plays out. Does Tam see through the lies of the First Order and realize who her true friends are, or she's just going to go full-blown First Order? So based on last time on the first episode, I thought she was going to be full First Order, but now you could tell that she's still struggling and trying to figure that out. So yeah, pretty cool episode. And then really the only thing that's left is Cianera asks Kaz, like, how do you think the First Order got here? And she's putting two together that Kaz kind of led the First Order to them, and that they're going to be hot on his trail. So, yeah, Niku obviously supports Kaz, but Sinara she's not entirely sure of Kaz's decision here, and I think this is, well, we know there's hyperspace tracking and all that stuff, but they also have Kaz. So we know that now the First Order is going to be hot on the Colossus. And again, I don't know if we have a blind jump of where they're going. That's still kind of to be determined. But we know that they escaped, and that is a good thing. Oof. It was cool. I think that, again, it's cool. I like that we're seeing something that we're familiar with The Last Jedi, and now we're right at the heels of just like just a little bit after the big battle over Dakar. So really cool episode. I enjoyed it. Again, I think with Kaz, it's interesting to see. He really trusts his friends and still believes in Tam, but that also sometimes is getting him in trouble, and we shall see how this goes with the First Order being on the heels of the Colossus. So there you go. Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing where Tam's loyalty lies, and then how and what are they going? What's the plan of attack for the Colossus, since they're kind of chasing a vapor as far as that was really their only lead was Dakar. And so now that it's not there, they stay in the Lineum system. Obviously, they have to get rid of the First Order, and so There you go. It's going to be interesting because it seems like this is going to be a very much cat and mouse kind of game with the Resistance or this group of Resistance and the First Order and Commander Pry. All right, so there you have it. So thanks again, Space Wizards, Plastic Spacemen, and Rebel Princesses for listening to another episode of Big T and Little T, a Star Wars podcast. You can find us on the socials, Big T, Little T podcast on Instagram, BLILT podcast on Twitter, and twitch.tv /Big T, Little T. We got stickers, so we want to hear from you. So comment, tweet, rate us on Apple Podcast. You can email us at bigtlittlepodcast@gmail.com. If you drop us a question or give us a rating, we will send you a sticker, and obviously we'll read your question on the next episode, so we would really appreciate that. So in 2 weeks, we will do episode 47, more Resistance, and now remember, truly wonderful the mind of a child is. May the Force be with you always. Bye.
What's wrong?
I felt a great disturbance in the Force, as if millions of voices suddenly cried out in terror and were suddenly silenced.